It's that time of the month again. The time when V-Jump magazine clocks us over the head and leaves us for dead in the streets after stealing our wallets. Yu-Gi-Oh's getting a teapot based on Pot of Greed, Jump Festa 2021 is going to be online only, and Digimon got 15 new card reveals out of Booster Set 3, Union Impact. Let's dive right in. First up, we have the cover card of the set, Imperialdramon Dragon Mode. Imperialdramon is a level 6 blue card that can evolve from either blue or green. Compared to other level 6s, he costs 2 more memory to get onto, but has the highest possible power for his level, and his first effect helps offset his memory cost. As long as you evolve from a Imperialdramon or Dinobemon, Dragon Mode's evolution cost is reduced by 2, making him exactly the same cost as the 11k level 6s like All-Force Vidramon or Metal Garurumon. His second effect gives him jamming, which isn't that big a deal when you're already 12k, but it's a much bigger one with his third effect, which activates all Digimon with jamming when he's placed. This has a pretty sick combo with his primary level 5, Imperialdramon. Now, this isn't technically a V-Jump reveal, but this week's issue of Weekly Shonen Jump also leaked early, and apparently we are advertising cards in it. I don't know where Bandai is pulling that blood money from, but the Shonen Jump leaks include all 3 of the Adventure 02 Jogresses, including Imperialdramon. Once per turn, Imperialdramon's evolution source effect activates the Digimon he's in the stack of when it attacks, as long as its name includes Imperialdramon. Imperialdramon also has jamming, so he's mostly safe from destruction by security Digimon. That means he's free to attack, evolve into Imperialdramon, who activates himself thanks to him also having jamming, attack again as Imperialdramon, activate again thanks to Imperialdramon's evolution source effect, and after the battle's resolved, attack a third time. Ordinarily, when you evolve a rested Digimon, the evolution inherits the position it was in, and it's become fairly common to evolve to a level 6 or higher after attacking, as the memory cost on evolution is often high enough to end your turn. But with Imperialdramon's Evo cost reduced to 3, if you go into your turn with one of the Memory Fixer Tamer cards and a Imperialdramon already in play, Imperialdramon activating itself upon evolution allows you to get off 3 attacks in that turn using just that Digimon. And, because it's a blue level 6, you can still evolve into Omegamon at the end of the turn and spite your opponent by destroying one of their Digimon. Heck, bouncing Imperialdramon back to your hand for Omegamon's reactivation cost could be used to play it again on a different Imperialdramon or Dinobemon and get off the multi-attack strategy again. We're buddy fight now. Next, we have another highly anticipated card, Mastemon. As predicted, Mastemon evolves from purple and yellow, building on the hybrid purple-yellow interactions we saw Wizardmon and Tailmon encouraging in the last booster set. Mastemon's evolution cost is 1 point higher than the norm as a trade-off for her high base power, and she doesn't have a cost reduction effect like Imperialdramon, but she doesn't need it. Upon evolution, Mastemon discards both one of yours and the opponent's security, and then places a level 4 or less purple or yellow Digimon from your trash at no memory cost. You can use Mastemon defensively to bring back a blocker you used to chump block last turn like Unimon or Evilmon, or offensively, grabbing something like Ultimate Power Tailmon and using her on-place effect to debuff an opposing Digimon by 4k and potentially destroy it. There's a lot of existing and future combo potential with this card. You could grab Petermon out of your trash and use his on-place effect to play a Tinkermon or Ultimate Power Plotmon and heal the security that Mastemon just discarded. I would be surprised if Union Impact didn't introduce any new combos with Mastemon, so this is a card to keep your eye on. Believe it or not, the face card for this month wasn't actually Imperialdramon or Mastemon. It was the Legend Arms Digimon, a series of Digimon that can transform into powerful weapons, and the defining mechanic for these new Digimon is that they all revolve around getting up to level 7. For now, the only one they have is Ragna Lordmon. Ragna Lordmon was introduced in the 20th Anniversary Pendulum Virtual Pets, and in lore is the result of a jogress between the strongest weapon and armor Legend Arms Digimon, Durandamon and Briweludramon. This is reflected in gameplay. The main draw of Ragna Lordmon himself is that when you evolve into him, you can place either a Durandamon or a Briweludramon from your hand into his evolution sources to get +3 memory. The Legend Arms cards are split pretty evenly between red and black, and Ragna Lordmon can evolve from either color, so the general idea is that whichever one you evolve from, the other level 6 becomes fodder for his memory gain effect. Now, why is this effect good? Because Ragna Lordmon himself only costs 3 memory to evolve into, half of what Omegamon or Millenniumon demand. So he essentially turns his memory cost into a discard cost, except you can also benefit from paying this cost because you'll gain the evolution source effect of the Digimon you put into his stack. Durandamon and Briweludramon are the first level 6s to have source effects that are only active when they are in the evolution sources of another Digimon. Durandamon gives Ragnalordmon Piercing, so that he damages the opponent when he wins a battle with a Digimon that he attacked, which synergizes with Ragna's first effect, Security Attack +1. Imperialdramon source effects grant Ragna the blocker keyword, allowing him to redirect the target of attacks to himself by resting on the opponent's turn, which complements Ragna's second effect, the reboot keyword that causes him to activate at the start of the opponent's turn. With both of these in his stack, Ragnalordmon can freely attack on your turn, break 2 security when he does, break those security even if he's blocked so long as he wins the battle, and then activate on your opponent's turn to block their attackers. If you compare him directly with Omegamon, he does seem to be direct power creep. Omegamon was a cost 15 to place, or a cost 6 to evolve from red or blue, for 15k power, while Ragnalordmon is a cost 14 place, or cost 3 evolution from red or black for 14k. Both of them can break 2 security, but Omega does it by double attacking and paying a cost, whereas Ragna just has security attack +1 innately. He doesn't have a removal effect like Omegamon does, but he does have Reboot that on its own will usually prevent the opponent from being able to attack him on their turn, because you can only declare attacks on players or rested Digimon. So there's nothing about Ragna's cost or conditions that seem to justify his dramatically lower evolution cost, except maybe that his on-evolution effect requires you to have another specific card in hand to use. That said, I'm not that impressed with Ragna because, well, look at the other cards you have to run to get to him. Compared to Hoomon and Hyandramon, Durandamon and Imperialdramon are overcosted vanillas until you get onto Ragna, as are the level 5 Legend Arms Digimon, Duramon, and Raiji Ludomon. These Digimon have evolution source effects. Duramon gives security attack +1 to Ragnalordmon, and Raiji gives him an on-attack degenerate effect that removes the highest level card from one of the opponent's Digimon, but they don't do anything on their own. Similarly, the level 4's Tia Ludomon and Zubaigarmon have evolution source effects but no main effects. Tia gives Ragnalordmon another copy of the same on-attack degenerate effect, and Zubaigar gives him another security attack +1. So if you hit everything on curve and stack them all together, you have a 14k attacker that can either eat 4 security at once, or remove the 2 highest level evolutions the opponent has in play and eat 2 instead, deal piercing damage through blockers, activate at the start of their turn, and block, and altogether costs a total of 8 memory to get out when optimized versus the 11 you put into Omegamon, but also that's all endgame. The Legend Arms deck right now has no mid-game effects whatsoever. The early game is you put out Zubamon or Ludomon, check the top 5 cards, and add a Ragnalordmon and a Legend Arms card from among them to your hand. If you just don't draw your level 7 fast enough, the Legend Arms deck does nothing. And even if you're hitting all your cards right, something as simple as a Hell's Grenade can ruin your day and leave you playing Go Fish until you draw another copy of Ragna. If you draw another copy of Ragna. That said, we've literally just met this card, they still have yet to introduce Spadamon to the Legend Arms lineup, and the other cards in Union Impact will probably impact our perspective on Ragna in the future. Right now it's a deck that doesn't do anything until it hits level 7, but once you start throwing around the non-Legend Arms support in the Legend Arms deck, people will start discovering ways to optimize it and combos we can't anticipate right now. So what else was in V-Jump? Well, our long-awaited Digimon with security effects, Greymon and Gururumon. That's not a typo. They took the throwaway recolor of Garurumon from Digimon World and made it into its own card. Well, we all make mistakes. Remember, Disco? These cards are both play cost 5, evo cost 2, 4k level 4s, which is basically the average for a level 4 in this game. All they do is play themselves for free at the end of a battle they were revealed as security in. That has some interesting potential, since getting a free level 4 gives you a pass to evolve it into a level 5 and higher next turn, but in general, running cards just to security check them isn't that great a strategy. These things are underpowered vanillas at any other point in the game, and this mechanic of playing stuff from security will see a lot more use when it's paired with other effects like blocker or on-place abilities. I would rather run option cards like Atomic Ray or Brave Shield than literally my mom's Garurumon. Finally, the Adventure 02 Jogresses. V-Jump gave us color prints of Shakoman and Selfiemon, while Shonen Jump gave us monochrome and orange Imperialdramon because yeah, Bandai has dark money, but not that kind of dark money. We've already talked about Imperialdramon, so we'll wrap this up with Selfiemon and Shakoman, which each share a unique new effect. During your turn, they are treated as an additional color. Selfiemon is a red card that is also treated as yellow, while Shakoman is a yellow card additionally treated as blue. Fittingly, they both evolve from each of these colors. Selfiemon's on-evolution effect changes the base power of an opponent's level 4 or less Digimon to 1000 until end of turn, making it easy to snipe with Yellow's debuff support, or making it an easy target for piercing red decks. Shakoman's effect is only active on the opponent's turn, and causes all of their Digimon without evolution sources to get security attack -1. This is terrifying. Previously, players were running Mistimon and other forms of removal to counter low-level field spam, but now you have a Digimon that just by existing disables the opponent's ability to deal damage if they don't have evolution sources, and the effect will stack if you have multiple Shakoman out. In combination with Blue's general ability to remove evolution sources through the effects of cards like Starter Deck Zudomon and Booster 1 Yamato, this has the makings of a very powerful control deck that does its control without really relying on big blockers. And with that, it's a wrap! This has been Toya, thank you for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, please consider liking and subscribing to support the channel. You can find the latest card reveals at digimoncard.net. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Pillowfort at Towoya, on Twitch at DecodeToya, and of course, right here, at Maniacs Channel.